And we're back. Might notice we had a bit of a conversation during the break. There was a connection I made that I didn't want to bring up, but then once we actually, brought it up, all of a sudden everything else kind of starts falling into place. Except for one problem. So the theory is that the third personality transferring into the bodies of both Hattori and ourselves is a baby. Potentially one in a womb, which was why the weird-ass transfers where we would think we're in a womb environment kept occurring, because that's the body we would transfer to. That said, there's one problem with that. Where is the third transfer taking place? When, as well? But then it occurred to me, why? Why in our conversation with Utsumi did she make that very, very specific mention of that very lonely place with no one else around her, and even name the damn place of where she was staying when she was pregnant? But let's move on and see if that's what happens. The coastline appeared. Only the sound of the waves silently drifted through the air. I couldn't hear anything besides that. It was an extremely quiet night. There were 10 minutes left until the next transfer. I had nothing to do but focus and keep waiting. To eagerly wait for the time to come. The distance from here to Sophia's front gate wasn't very far. Close enough that it'd only take a minute to get there if I ran at full speed. I could still clearly see the tall circular wall around the building from here. The moon's light reflected dimly off the wall's surface. It had dignified shine in the darkness. I couldn't imagine something that big being able to transfer. It looked so sturdy. Almost impossible to move or vanish. I even felt like it would stubbornly refuse to move no matter what. Is the transfer really going to happen? After reaching this point, uncertainty began to cross my mind. Even so, there was nothing I could do but wait. 7 minutes to go before the next transfer. I thought I was keeping my cool, but you know what? Body doesn't lie about these things. As time passed, intervals between my heartbeats became shorter. I couldn't feel the cold anymore. My palms were sweating even though I was only standing. I felt like I was choking from the pressure. If I messed this up, there'd be no second chances. Kokoro, Yomogi, and Lin would be caught in an avalanche and die. My heart was beating like crazy. Along with the excitement, I felt a great feeling of exhilaration from the bottom of my chest. 5 minutes to go. Passage of time felt exceedingly slow. It was so frustrating I couldn't stand still. I walked aimlessly along the sandy beach as the waves lapped its edge. A gust of wind blew past me. Before the wind finished blowing, Sophia's figure suddenly disappeared, and as though changing places with it, a brown plain without much snow appeared. Without a thunderous roar and without a brilliant flash of light. A brown plain? It happened silently, without a sound, like turning a single page in a book. Because of that mysterious spectacle that occurred right before my eyes, I fell in a trance-like state. I stood dumbfounded without understanding what had happened. Only time steadily continued. The sound of the waves gradually returned to my ears. I glanced up at the night sky at the eternal light cast by the countless stars and the waning moon. Nothing had changed. The world continued as usual around me. However, when I lowered my eyes, a strange scene waiting before me. Brown earth was spread out as if drawn in a big, big circle. It wasn't an illusion. Even when I blinked and swayed my head, the scene wouldn't disappear. Was that a transfer? The situation finally sunk in, but even then my senses didn't clear. My ears were picking up a sound like light breathing nearby. Coming in between the crashing of waves, they resounded as though burying the silence. That's right. What am I doing? I have to hurry. I started to walk unsteadily as though being pulled. My awkward steps gradually began to adjust their pace. Eventually, they turned into a quick walking, then into a trot, and finally into a sprint that cut through the darkness. Current time, 5:02 a.m. I stepped into the circle. That zone was a barren wasteland of brown rock. Even though I say wasteland, the ground felt damp. I stopped running and touched the earth's surface. A damp sensation was transmitted to my finger. The bottom of my leather shoe slid over bare rock, which was currently coated with moisture. Paying attention to the surface under my feet, I broke into a run. The place I was aiming for was the circle's core. However, what was there wasn't a shelter cabin made of wood, but a structure plastered in pure white. What does this mean? Where is this? After reaching it, I took a breath and immediately began to look around the structure. It was a cube, at its length and height being 5 meters each. It looked like a large 6-sided die. Of course, there wasn't anything like numbers on the alphabet carved on the sides. On 3 of the 4 sides, there was nothing like a window or anything sticking out, but there was a ladder attached to the last side. And made out of iron pipes, it continued to the roof. I climbed it. A square rooftop. There wasn't anything like a fence set up around it. The only thing there was a round door painted in green. The small iron door was like a manhole cover hidden in the corner of the roof. There was a handle on it. I tried to lift it, but it wouldn't budge. Looking closely, I saw a keyhole-like groove carved in the handle. A keyhole? I remembered right away. Got the key in my pocket, the one I didn't know a use for. A key I found in the room on the 12th. It was placed next to the ID card, extremely ordinary and simple key. No way. Despite my doubts, I had to check it anyway. I took it out of my pocket and tried to fit it in. It went in! As if being inhaled, the key smoothly settled inside the hole. I tried turning it. With a pleasant metal sound, the locket released itself with no resistance. Are you serious? It unlocked it! The round green door. I opened it without hesitation. You better be quick about this. You got 33 minutes. Until shit gets real. The inside gleamed with a white light. The inside was as bright as day. I squinted from the overwhelming light. While shielding my eyes with one hand, I took a look inside the room. There wasn't even a shadow. No one was around. There was a ladder leading down from the round entrance. I climbed down it. Apoptosis, which is the programmed or spontaneous, I don't remember which one, destruction of cells? Like self-destruction of cells, I think? With a great creaking of its hinges, the door closed. The inside was saturated in a bright white. Because light shone from every direction, no shadows existed inside the room. The scene, where all shade was lost, warped my sense of perspective. Where did the walls begin and end? Where are the limits of the ceiling? How far did the floor extend? I couldn't understand at all. Where is cells? Prison! Prison cells. Also that. I felt like I was floating, completely isolated in the middle of white space. Only the sensation of the soles of my feet made me sure that I was touching the floor. When I looked up, the door had vanished. The inside of the door was likely painted white as well. Lost in the light, I couldn't even find its outline. I didn't know where the ladder was. The whole surface was pure white world, where the notion of depth no longer existed. There was, however, a long black object. A round object pierced the center of the round space like a hole. Fumbling around, I made my way through the light and neared the hole. When I reached out one finger to touch it, I felt my hand touch a surface. The round black object wasn't really a hole, but a sphere. A little bigger than a soccer ball. It had absolutely no luster, so it just looked like a black hole, sucking up the surrounding light. I tried patting it with the palm of my hand. It was completely smooth to the touch, offering no resistance at all. It was held slightly below my line of vision. At first I thought it was floating, but then I realized it was just hanging down from the ceiling, suspended by a chain. What the heck is this? Incomprehensible. And moreover, where the hell was I? Where'd the shelter cabin disappear to? Once again I fumbled toward the light. Almost immediately I ran up against a wall. Judging from the feeling against the palm of my hand, I could tell the surface of the wall was curved. Apparently the structure was in the shape of a dome. It was a cube on the outside, but a hemisphere on the inside. I walked along the walls for a while. My knee hit something. When I concentrated hard and looked around in the light, I was able to make out a bed lying there. Every surface of the bed was painted white. It was the simplicity that reminded me of an old hospital. A bed? Someone lives here? But I couldn't see a blanket or pillows, not even sheets or a mattress. But lives, not lived. Not lives, but lived? Sorry. The bed, the stairs, the sphere, it seems there's nothing here aside from that. Present time, 5:21 p.m. Suddenly I heard a deep rumbling from the outside, almost like an earthquake. That sound instantly brought me back to reality. That's right. I had to get to the shelter cabin. No sense hanging around here forever. Groping for the ladder, I finally managed to grab hold of a rung. The sound of clanging iron resounded on the white. I climbed up. When the ladder came to an end, I extended an arm toward the ceiling. The feeling of iron. It's the door. I tried pushing up against it. It didn't move. It didn't budge a millimeter. Even when I tried to force it open with my shoulders, it didn't give in the slightest. I immediately started searching for the keyhole, but it was nowhere to be found. Don't tell me! I'm locked in? I tried ramming into it over and over, but the results were always the same. This is bad. Very bad. Impatience assailed me. I had to get out of here right away, but there's nothing I could do. Finally, I lost my grip and fell to the floor. There must be a way. Isn't there another way out? I desperately looked for the other exits, but it was useless. I want to save. Just in case. The bed, the ladder, the sphere, there was nothing other than that. Meanwhile, time was mercilessly advancing. All of a sudden, the door opened. Someone was climbing down the ladder. The one who came down. Huh? Alright, past. Right. The one who came down was... Enomoto? In a moment I was thrown into chaos. Why? Why is Enomoto here? This guy, isn't he supposed to be dead? Once he noticed I was there, shock registered on Enomoto's face. We glared at each other, neither moving a muscle. The one who finally broke the silence was him. You. Who are you? Eh? Don't you hear me? I asked you, who are you? Answer me. I don't understand. Shouldn't Enomoto know who I am? Why doesn't he recognize me? Answer me, Enomoto repeated. Reluctantly, I decided to answer. My name is Yukito Satoru. What? Enomoto panicked. No, it wasn't anything as simple as panic. It was a horrified dismay, as though the world was crumbling down around him. As wit's end, staggering, he wrung out a groan in his convulsing throat. What? What? You scum! You dare call yourself Yukito Satoru? Yeah. Is there anything wrong with that? His eyes pierced me. In those eyes I detected intense hatred and rage. You scum. If you say you're Yukito Satoru. Now I see. Saying this, Enomoto's face darkened. While tapping on his temples, he continued muttering. Did they switch names? What a state of affairs. If scum like you could get in here, it's all ruined. The project was a failure. Even though Damn it, so stupid, I feel like throwing up. What are you saying? I don't understand you at all. Enomoto continued without answering my question. Well, whatever. Though I say it failed, all that really means is that one possibility has collapsed. The number of possibilities of worlds in existence is infinite. It's simple. I can also say that in another world we didn't fail. As long as I just keep myself together, it won't end in a pathetic result like this. I'm different from a life scum like you. Absolutely. A result as stupid and worthless as you absolutely will not come to be. Enomoto spat that out, still glaring at me. What are you saying? It's the many worlds interpretation. Many worlds interpretation? The meaning of those words. I know it! No need to explain, right? You ought to know it already, scum. Yeah, but still. Basically, it just means every decision you make splits the world off into another world, another possibility, another timeline. I have no intention of explaining such minor details. It's annoying, and besides, it's not worth wasting my breath to tell scum like you anyway. All of a sudden, Enomoto closed his eyes. And David played with his hand at other times. And there's a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast a javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. Those cryptic words came forth from him. He muttered as though pronouncing a curse on someone. The curse began to do its work. I will smite David, even if it avoided out of my presence twice. Opening his eyes, Enomoto fixed me with another glare. Nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact in your world the project was a failure. I'll have to have you take responsibility for it, scum. Hold on a second. I don't understand what's going on right now. Why are you here? Why are you alive? In the first place, where am I? I don't get it. What does this all mean? Please explain. You are a fool. What? Even though the memories of that guy were translated into you, you understand nothing even now. You're pathetic if I do say so myself. Memories? Transplanted? This abnormal memory of mine, as I thought it was a memory transplant? Who is that guy? Why did things turn out like this? Sorry, but that's the one question I can't answer. To be more accurate, I don't want to answer. The very thought of that guy is annoying, you see. That guy! For this person, there is no past. For this person, there is no future. To be more accurate, the concept of time does not exist for this person. For this person, the past, the present, and the future are all condensed to a single point. Point. Emptiness. Zeroth dimension. Three concepts that overlap. The person that exists is a place devoid of everything. The absolute will is the only thing there. An absolute will. According to them, if we were to come up with an example, that person would be David. Then I doubt the person was a king who entirely ruled them. And to him, a hateful enemy. Him, if we were to come up with an example, would be Saul. 11 years before 2012, that's where it all began. But Sitaro, you know not of this. Means beloved in Hebrew. The biblical David, for whom the name is derived from the second king of ancient Israel, who established Jerusalem as its capital, united Israel, and built Israel's era of prosperity. King David excelled in battle tactics, and the mystics who felt the sorcery was behind his tremendous abilities thought the battle flag of David was undoubtedly a demon summoning charm. The symbol David used as a symbol was known as the Star of David. It is also believed to be a crest that protects Israel from danger, similarly found in the Israeli national flag. In Japan, the Star of David, called the Rokubose, or hexagram, was the crest of the Ice Grand Shrine. The Ise Grand Shrine, the symbol that holds the opposite meaning of Star of David, is the Gobuse, or pentagram, also called the Star of Solomon. The magical power of the Star of Solomon seals the inner demons inside the Infinity Loop. It means peace and tranquility in Hebrew. The biblical Solomon, for whom the name is derived, was third king of ancient Israel. Solomon excelled because of his faith and obedience to God and possessed great wisdom and intelligence with whom he led Israel into a golden age. However, in King Solomon's later years, he placed heavy taxation upon his people in order to construct a golden temple for his Lord. A task that his father David was unable to accomplish. As a result, soon after his death, Israel split into northern and southern kingdoms. Saul means he who was wished for in Hebrew. The biblical Saul was the name that derived the first king of ancient Israel. He was truly the king whom the people had wished for, and he lived up to their expectations. Certainly as a king and a warrior, he never known defeat. However, he failed in his God-given mission to become the instrument of the Lord. Though anointed by God to become an instrument of the Lord as the king of the God's people, he did not. The reason that Saul disobeyed the will of God, Saul was forsaken by God and met a tragic end. However, other than that, I'll answer everything. It's just too pitiful for you to go knowing nothing like this. Be grateful, okay? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. This is what you said before, right, scum? Why are you here? Why are you alive? In the first place, where am I? You asked those 3 questions. Shall I answer them for you? Enomoto grinned from ear to ear. Couldn't help but feel a little scared. Before that, something I want to ask. No, it's easier to understand if I say, Enomoto, he died. Eh? I'm asking you, scum, if in your past Enomoto died. I don't really understand, but that's right. 3 days ago, you, Enomoto, died. I'm sure, no mistaking it. You definitely died back then. That's why Is that so? No, it's okay, I got all that. Saying that, Enomoto tapped his temples again. So the possibility exists too, huh? I must be careful. Alright, now for your answers. Let's start with question number 1. Why are you here? You do know the space-time transfer, don't you? Yeah, I heard about it. From you. No, we had a certain goal, so we came here. That certain goal was to take the space-time transfer apparatus to its final level. Final level. It's a level which the plan they devise will move as it transitions to the final stage, the final move that will lead to the truth they have wished for, the final measure necessary for them to meet that guy. When it is executed, the world will undergo a great transfiguration. When it is executed, the transient world imaginary is lost, the bridge to the world symbolic is crossed, the true world real will reveal its shape, together with the awakening of the third eye. The space-time transfer apparatus? Isn't that a supercomputer in that little room? You didn't even notice it. As I thought, in addition to scum, you are not a fool. The space-time transfer apparatus is not in that room. It's nothing of the sort, just a computer used for data acquisition. The true space-time transfer apparatus is... here. Eh? You saw it, right? It's that. Enomoto pointed at it. The direction Enomoto indicated was that black sphere. That's the space-time transfer apparatus? Correct. Shall I continue? On to question 2. Why are you alive? And question number 3, where am I? Those two converge into a single, very simple solution. Being scum, I guess you thought transfer occurs between the 2 points of Mount Akakura and Nagasaki Island, correct? I nod. You hopeless idiot. Your total lack of reasoning capacity got you here. Didn't you notice that contradiction? Contradiction? The change is in atmospheric pressure. The change in atmospheric pressure? That's right, you still don't get it. Let's suppose temporarily that the transfer is taking place between 2 points of Mount Kakura and Nagasaki Island. If that were the case, this sort of phenomenon would occur. With a sudden variation in atmospheric pressure. The shelter cabin of Mount Takura is located to 1,298 meters above sea level. And on the other hand, Sphia and Onosuke Island is 11 meters above at most. Mount Akakura is surrounded by low air pressure, while Sphia, on the contrary, is in high pressure, if the transfer occurred between 2 points. And the test subjects undergoing the transfer would experience buzzing or pain in the ears to the variation in atmospheric pressure. This should be enough for you to get the picture, I hope. Yeah, come to think of it, I remembered. In the video I saw in the little room, I observed the moment of transfer. The windows of the room violently shook as though struck by a gale. A sudden variation in atmospheric pressure. That's right, that's how it is. It definitely happened, and yet I didn't feel it. Why? Strange, isn't it? You didn't experience any change in pressure. The consciousness of Yuka Kokoro likely did feel it. From Mount Kokoro to Onosuke Island, she transferred instantaneously. But you, scum, you're different. Do you know why? I don't. I'll tell you. It's because you didn't transfer directly from Onosuke Island to Mount Kokoro. Eh? Did I miss anything important in the last 3 minutes? He's just explaining that he's probably from the past and somewhere else, and he's explaining the third transfer location. In short, between Onosuke Island and Mount Kokoro, there was a relay point. A relay point for the purpose of accustoming the eardrums to the change in pressure. Relay point? Correct. In a word, here. Here is located underground, in a vast room dug out for this very purpose, with fortunately a level of atmospheric pressure roughly equal to that of Sphia on Onosuke Island. And that's why your tiny brain didn't sense a substantial change. I see now. So where is this place? I said it in a voice that was almost a groan. Every single word Enomoto fired at me was like 1,000 needles piercing my skull. I was paralyzed, no longer able to doubt what he said. I was accepting everything as it was. I called it a relay point, right? You don't get it? The meaning of that? Relay point, relay point. A point that relays. A place that takes over the middle, an intermediary. The middle. Don't tell me. No, it can't be. My, seems you finally get it. Just to be sure, let me give you a few additional details. Onosuke Island is about 5 kilometers west of Ruben Island. Sphia is located at north latitude, east latitude. And the other, the shelter capital, Mount Kokura, in the South Hokkaido Islands of Mimura Prefecture, located at north latitude, east latitude. Those two places both follow the line of that longitude, sorry. And finally here, this place at north latitude and east longitude. The midway point of the line, east longitude. Midway point, is it? Point, east whatever. Fuck it! Ah! Correct, it's at the exact middle point. The 3 points on the line of east longitude, north latitude. Like this, you scum repeated the transfers. I held my head, unable to endure any more. This is what was happening. The point at north latitude and east longitude. Where in the world is this place? I know you said it was underground now, but fine, I'll tell you what this is. Moegi Village, Hiwa District, Hokkaido. The ruins of the abandoned Hatarubi Mine. Also exactly where Utsumi mentioned. The Hatarubi Mine? He's gonna miss the space-time transfer bus at this rate. You can't mean where Utsumi-san was hospitalized. Good answer. At least your memory seems to be intact. Enomoto suddenly grinned scornfully at me. There's still something I don't understand. The reason I'm alive? Yeah. You truly are a hopeless idiot. Mount Kokoro exists in January 2011. Onosuke Island exists in January 2012. If that's the case, don't you think there might be some movement of space and time in order to move through the middle points in between 2 poles? Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Folks in my house are heading out, so hopefully I won't scare them too much by talking. Don't you think there must be some movement of space and time between 2 poles? You don't get it. This, you scum, is the past to you. And if we go Kokoro, it is the future. Ah! I groaned. At last I understood. The remaining piece of the puzzle. Here and now, it's July 18th, 2011. I am the me who was yet to be murdered. I hung my head, crestfallen. I was totally defeated. I hadn't noticed. I hadn't all this time. I fell to my knees with my hand planted on the ground to support me. You heard squeaking? That might have been my door. The chill from the cold concrete flowed into me. But my mind was frozen by something far colder than that. I was torn apart. The inside of my head was pure white. I didn't want to think anymore. I was disgusted with everything. Enough, enough, enough. I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to go back. Where? Where can I return to? Haven was the murderer all along. God damn it. Please tell me. Tell me. Haven personality transfer theory. And then there was the sound of a door being opened, and following that, sound of someone descending the ladder. Who is it? A friend of Enomoto's? At length he finally appeared. The person who came down was me. A me who had my shape. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's the meaning of this? The confusion in my head went past its limits. I could no longer comprehend what was going on anymore. I couldn't understand. A world that transcended my comprehension. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Please don't, it's driving me insane. Give yourself a high five. No, babies, it was Haven and the Rat all along. Stop, please. Panic overwhelmed me. So do you ever come face to face with yourself, you would fear them, and that was exactly what I felt right then. I feared everything I saw before me. It was as though reason itself was being ripped apart. And I love the other Sataru's reaction to all this. He's just kind of looking at him like, dude, what's your fucking problem? I don't understand. What's your problem, man? It's just me. You? Come on, chill. Do you, like, need a drink or something? That can't be right. This can't be right. This can't be right. The world isn't right. Hey, what is this? The me I saw before me looked unsettled like as he caught sight of me. Why am I here? Oh, that's a different color. What happened? Hey, tell me. The me from before me asked Enomoto. Enomoto heaved a sigh and shrugged his shoulders. The project. It's a failure. Oh, in this world, that is. The me in front brooded for a while, but soon. I see. That's how it is. When we first played this game, the very first scene, all the pronouns, all the I's were super emphasized just like that. We already established this in an earlier point in time. Yeah, Enomoto did specifically say he knew Sataru already, so he nodded in agreement. So, what do we do about him? We can't leave him be. Right, I was just thinking about that. After a while, the me before me proposed something. Say, what do you think would happen if I killed the me from the future? Let's see. Not much at all. Nobody in his world dies. Really, that's all. So that means there'll be no consequences to the present me or you, right? Jesus fuck! No, none. Well, I suppose it'd be very bad if, for example, you and I arrived at the same result. I see. But don't you feel like there's no point in worrying about that? It's nonsense. That's right. And I have confidence in it. Confidence there's no way our future will turn out as wretched as that one. So do I. Well then, will you let me take care of him? Let's find out, Kappa. That's exactly how the conversation went. He even practically did a Kappa face if, you know, this wasn't a visual novel with very limited facial expressions. Are you serious? Yes, of course. I want to experience it at least once. Killing myself, that is. That consciousness reached through me through a haze. Killing myself? I'm going to kill me? What a foolish thing I'm saying. As if I do that on purpose. I don't have any such impulses for self-injury. Alright, have it your way. Saying that, Enomoto took out his sunglasses from his pocket. I don't really care. He is an I that I have nothing to do with. Huh? Interesting phrasing. Oh, thank you for that. Well then, I suppose I'll just do as I please. On saying that, the me before me took out something from his pocket. How about we kill our past self instead? Ah! It was the type of retractable knife. Looks familiar, huh? The me before me seized it in his hand. No. No, no, no. Are you serious? Dumbfounded, I stared at the me before me and the knife in his hand. It wouldn't create any problems whatsoever. I lost all sense of reality. I'm going to kill me? Such a thing, there's no way. Not that moment. What? The knife was thrust into my chest. The blade sank into the base. The me before me was the one holding the knife. The other me pulled the knife back out and thrust it out again and again, making sure to put all of his weight and body into it. I hurt. I couldn't breathe. My chest was hot. Burning, melting. The knife stuck in my chest burned my body like the flames of hell. My vision distorted. I couldn't stand. I couldn't move. With my distorted vision, I could see my own face before me, full of twisted joy. The one bathing in the shower of my spurting blood, slowly turning red, was me. I screamed in agony, a death cry. Say, somewhere beyond my impaired field of hearing, Enomoto asked the me who was stabbing, "How does it feel?" Not bad. The me in front twisted his wrist, digging the knife further into me, and then he ripped it out. Fresh blood overflowed from my chest. My vision was dyed crimson. Not bad at all. It's like drinking the most delicious black coffee the world has to offer. Oh, just as I thought. Nothing beats black coffee. Don't you agree, Yukido? Yukido? What did you say just now? I don't. Because I'm different from you. Enomoto. Enomoto. The me before me is Enomoto, and Enomoto is Yukido. What the hell's going on? Has this world gone mad after all? Knew their names switched. Did it ever exist to begin with? Where in the world? Where am I? And my consciousness returned to nothingness. Jesus! I guess I got, like, the bad end. To end all bad ends right now. What the hell? Okay, What decision did I make that fucked everything over? I hadn't been able to make a decision for a while. That went ideally. Also, goddamn, Enomoto/Satoru, you get stabbed a lot. It was certainly an informative bad end. Yeah, the most important bad end because it reveals that. Yeah, I kind of guess it's something along those lines. I can't skip this. So we're kind of stuck watching the credits. He's pulling a 999. Before 999 was a thing. Which bad end did I just get? The one where we went to the cube and got stabbed by ourselves. You picked the dumbass option during the computer room deduction, so you got locked into this. Try not being dumb. I don't remember times! I don't remember times. Okay, we'll fix that. You didn't figure out the computer room, so you got locked in. Okay, so that's where we have to go back to. The game is very insistent on not letting me skip past this. So we have to go back to the computer room and figure out the time things. I'm gonna go ahead and just open it up to people telling me what those options are, because I don't know if both my options were incorrect, because the dialogue seemed like it made sense. It's not really suicide if your past self kills your future self, is it? That's kind of like saying, what if you fuck your clone or you fuck your future self? Is that masturbation or is that sex? Honestly, as soon as any experience differs from the other person, you've officially become your own unique individual. At least that's my opinion on the matter. So it obviously it isn't suicide, it's murder, and it isn't masturbation, it's sex. That's my opinion. What, you just pick things that make sense and get the times right. If it ends without you being all, I must have DID, it's probably okay. Okay, so him coming to the conclusion he has DID is the wrong conclusion. Since you're bad at times and ask for times. Yeah, I did ask for times. The soundtrack for this game is good. I'm gonna look up some remixes and stuff and see if I can get some, royalty-free version of some of their songs and add it to the rotation. So look for the ones that are 66-minute differences, is what you guys are saying, and I think that's what I messed up on. There ain't remixes? Ah! My poor heart. OC Remixes has failed me. There's not shit. Oh, I'd imagine this seems like a kind of obscure game. Better import the OST. Nobody's ever ripped the OST? Well, I'll look into it. Nobody officially has. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't want to pirate it either. So, let me get something. Crap, did I lose all my pens and stuff? What the hell? I had like a million on my desk. I'm gonna leave myself a note. Remember 11 OST. There. That's a thing that I'm going to import at some point so that I can own the music. Sorry, I'm making a bunch of extra noise while this stupid credit, well, not stupid, while the credits are going on because it's really hot in my room. Is there like a music room to this game, the menus or whatever? Really easy to rip it yourself? There totally is? Yeah, there totally is, I think. I think I remember it from the, on the menu screen. Then you can mix the tracks however you want to and use them. I think I would rather, you know, try and support them directly rather than rip it myself, to be honest. As long as, you know, I'd imagine importing the OST is not that expensive. We'll see. I'll look it up. And if it is really expensive, I might then look at other options. Because I am broke as fuck. But I really don't want to do other options if there's an option to support the people behind this game, because it is damn good. And I'm enjoying myself like hell. Alright, so. This came out in 2004. That's also true. That's fair. That's fair. Story is not finished yet. Truth is not revealed. It circulates through an incident. It is an infinity loop. You know, I've never got, like, the complete credits bad ends with, what's her name? With Kokoro. Unlocked album packages. I lied, there's a massive torrent called Kid OST that has everything. Alright, let's see. Is there a shortcut I can cut to? There is! Excellent! But I still have 2 cut off. Interesting. Alright, start from here. Alright, tab button! Consciousness. Alright, so we need to skip to the part that asks me about the time differences. So we need to do the time differences that are all 66 minutes off. You didn't finish Kokoro? No, I finished Kokoro. I got the good ending. I just never got any of the bad endings with the credits. It specifically said, like, in the endings list, good ending. You have to finish at least Kokoro's to be able to play as Satoru. Sorry, I must have been unclear. That's my bad. Shortcuts are cut off because your choice of one will impact the other once you've unlocked both. You get Satoru drowned in Kokoro, save your system data, and then play through as Satoru, and you'll get a bad ending where you have drowned. That's why you can't shortcut in places you aren't. That's super cool! Oh man, I might play around with that on my own time at some point and get like all the bad endings, get all the endings. The criminal out to kill me is neither. Alright, the 60s. So this one, I already did that, but so I made that right choice. This is where I made the wrong choice. At 8:02, Kokoro and I traded bodies for the first time. She and I then woke up as Sphia at the shelter cabin respectively. 9:08 is when the second transfer occurred, returning my consciousness as Sphia. The more accurate, it's Sphia that returned to Isekai Island, Mount Kakura. Incidentally, these 2 instances, isn't there something strange about them? Let's start thinking about what happened from 14th on 6:11 to 7:17. Interval is 66 minutes. I was at the shelter cabin then, anxious about my body being controlled by Kokoro. I was worried sick about her and wondering if it would run away from Enomoto. See, it's strange, weird even. I wasn't allowed to shelter cabin for 33 minutes. Of course, the same goes for Kokoro. In spite of that, it was certainly not a problem for the time counter on screen. The record's 66 minutes long. But it was only at Sphia for 33 minutes, irrefutable. Which means, since Kokoro was already at Sphia at 6:11, her consciousness separated from my body 33 minutes after at 6:44 at the latest. But then, from 6:44 to 7:17, who the hell is controlling my body? Let's examine the records once again. 6:44 on the 14th showed to be the moment Enomoto was swinging his knife, aiming at my throat. Tori did that, personality, so that Enomoto died in 33 minutes. Fuyukako Horo's instant. The same considerations applied to the events of the 11th from 8:02 to 9:08. At 8:02, Kokoro was transported to Sphia. It's 33 minutes after, at 8:35, her consciousness ought to have left my body. As a matter of fact, I woke up at Sphia at 9:08. From 8:35 to 9:08 again, there's a gap. Thinking about it carefully, a mysterious time lag has accompanied every transfer up until now. At 10:24 on the 11th, for example, as Sphia having been transported to Mount Kokoro to do the third transfer, Kokoro jumped, surprised by the sound of the breaking cups. And then at 11:30, a fourth transfer occurred, and I regained consciousness in the bathtub. There were no cameras in the bathroom, but there was one in my room. I know the fourth transfer occurred at 11:30 because the camera inside my room recorded Hattori's sudden metamorphosis. I'll touch on the subject of Hattori later. The third at 10:24 and the fourth at 11:30. Again, a 66-minute gap in between. If we assume Kokoro was in control for half that time, then what about the other half? Yes, as I thought, the 33-minute gap is also present here. Is any further explanation required? The gap always tags along with our transfers. Nevertheless, my body definitely isn't empty during the remaining 33 minutes. It's very clear the other personality slips into it. A third personality. I can't for the life of me guess who they are. But since the third personality exists, then I can deduce the following. There are 3 exchange points. We never transferred back and forth between 2 points. We kept returning round and round between 3. If not, then I can't explain how the third personality intervened between me and Kokoro. The phenomenon we were dragged into is a space-time transfer. An area at the point in time currently completely changes place with another area at another point in time. The personality exchanges is all about each consciousness simply remaining tied to the fixed place and picked at an empty container that comes around. If we assume that another personality exists based on this model, then it'd be logical to think the transfers do not occur between 2 points but 3. When explained in order, it's like this. Before that, let's define a recurrent concept. For now, I'll refer to the third personality shrouded in mystery as Alpha, I guess? Lowercase a. An alias. An appellative to call it third personality. Just like my name is Yukito Satoru and Kokoro's name is Fukawa Kokoro, I decided at the time the third personality is Alpha. I guess it's supposed to be an alpha. I don't know. Furthermore, to simplify things, I'll make use of the following abbreviations. Kokoro's body, K's body. Kokoro's consciousness, Kokoro. Third body, Alpha's body. Alpha's consciousness, Alpha. The space contained in the area and radius 110 meters of Sphia area. What's the point of doing anything if you're in an infinity loop? The space contained in the sphere of a radius 110 meters in a shelter cabin area. Third location isn't Sphia in a shelter cabin, third location. Space contained in a sphere radius 110 meters centered in third location, third area. The region is surrounded by a third area, the third region that is temporarily named the Axis counterpart Isuga Island, Mount Kokura. The fact that our time in each area is being teleported restricted to 33 minutes, 33-minute rule. Let's begin. Just what kind of phenomenon is this annoying space-time transfer? Let's start off with the removing of the time jump from the equation and focusing on the space transfer. Judging from the records, my body is used by a 3 in the following order. Me, Kokoro, Alpha. Me, Kokoro, Alpha. Simply said, my body, after being operated by me, is operated by Kokoro, then operated by Alpha. Then operated by me, operated by Kokoro, operated by Alpha, so on. Of course, the same thing happens to K's body and Alpha's body. This time, let's use the point of view of my consciousness to see how I move between each body. My consciousness is always, no matter when, at Aosuge Island. My bound consciousness crawls into an empty container, a body existing in the area currently on Aosuge Island. Our name is Yukito Satoru, though. Yeah, exactly. If you turn over the above sequence, you get my body, Alpha's body, K's body, my body, Alpha's body, K's body. Let's rephrase it to make it easier to follow. In short, my consciousness transfers to body to Alpha's body, then K's body. Then to my body to Alpha's body, K's body, so on. I don't remember our actual name anymore. We're Enomoto. You'll say Kokoro and Alpha's transfer in the same order. The transitions all come down to this. When my consciousness is in Alpha's body, Kokoro's in my body, and Alpha's in K's body. When my consciousness is in K's body, Kokoro's in Alpha's, and Alpha's in mine. When my consciousness is back in my body, Kokoro's in her own body, and Alpha returns to his body. The areas are teleported as follows. When the Sphia area, Mount Kokura, the shelter cabin area in the third region, and the third area is transported to Aosuge Island. Enomoto Satoru? No, it was Enomoto Naoya. Naoya. I wrote it down because I knew I'd forget. When the Sphia area is in the third region, the shelter cabin area in Aosuge Island, third area is transferred to Mount Kokura. When the Sphia area is back at Aosuge Island, the shelter cabin area is at Mount Kokura, and the third area returns to the third region. 3 consciousness, 3 bodies, 3 regions, 3 areas are tossed around like this. By the way, if you apply the 33-minute rule to it, this is what you get. The time my consciousness controls Alpha's body equals the time Kokoro controls my body equals the time Alpha controls K's body, 33 minutes. The time my consciousness controls Kokoro is 33 minutes. The time my consciousness changes at random. This is everything I've discovered in space-time transfer. This is how the 33-minute time gaps are generated. But there's still something missing. There's still 4 obscure points. Mystery 1. I didn't notice the existence of third area because I believed that Kokoro had written down. This is what her message said on the 12th. Transfer to Sphia, turn to shelter cabin. Transfer to Sphia, turn to shelter cabin. Transfer to Sphia. In contrast, these are times I noted down. Transfer to shelter cabin, turn to Sphia. Transfer to cabin, return to Sphia. Cynic! I am I and not I. There are 2 of me. If that's the case, who exactly is I? And if that's the case, who exactly am I? Limitless, endless, something without limit, and so on. Infinity series. Infinity Cure. Never 7, the end of Infinity. Ever 17, the out of Infinity. Remember 11, the age of Infinity, and the Infinity series will go on forever. Would it now? Would it? Really? Indicates it was impossible for me to check what time it was. That was when the shadow holding the knife and the lights went out. I had no time to look at my watch. Transfer to shelter cabin. The times that Kokoro's measured, the one I measured match perfectly. The first ever crowdsourced beer dispenser. What? That's why I was under the wrong impression. When I'm at the shelter cabin, Kokoro was at Sphia. That wasn't the case. It was actually always when I'm at the shelter cabin, Kokoro was in the third area. And then, when was Kokoro at Sphia? I was in the third area at the time, which means one list of names, either Kokoro or mine, is incorrect, and the incorrect one is Kokoro's. How do I know this? When I compare them to the times displayed in the records, it becomes pretty obvious. According to the videos, these are the correct times. Transfer Sphia, transfer to Sphia. Obviously, there are no cameras in the shelter cabin, therefore I can only times Kokoro's transfer to Sphia. That's enough. Let's compare them with the times the transfer Sphia Kokoro wrote down. Times Kokoro wrote down are... the actual times are... a systematic error. Times recorded in my message are off by 33 minutes. Because of this, 33-minute gaps vanish. Though I don't know how this happened. Why did Kokoro commit this error? That's the first mystery. Mystery number 2. When my consciousness went into Kokoro's body, I immediately noticed it. I was feeling out of place, and it was simple to understand that the one reflected in the mirror wasn't me. I could freely control her body. I could move, talk, and essentially make full use of my 5 senses. Yet it was in Alpha's body I felt nothing. At least I don't remember anything. It was probably the same for Kokoro. Why? Why did Kokoro and I never observe anything through Alpha's eyes? Walking around, touching anything, eating anything, hearing things, sounds, smelling? Why couldn't we do all of that? My memories simply skip over it and go straight to shelter cabin, as if Alpha's body never existed. Forever they said, but money is not infinite. It doesn't make any sense. This concludes the second mystery. Mystery 3. The third is where and when the third region exists. Where in the world is it? When was the Dragon space-time transfer? Usagi Island, January 12th, Mount Kokoro, January 2011. What about the third area? Since Usagi Island and Mount Kokoro exist at different points in time, it's natural to assume the third region exists in the past or the future. If I can pinpoint the location and time, I'd be able to draw closer to the identity of Alpha. Mystery number 4. Last mystery is about Alpha themselves. Who is Alpha? My consciousness transferred in 3 body while chasing after Alpha. However, I never caught up with them. When I finally arrive at the third area, Alpha runs to the shelter cabin, and when I reach the shelter cabin, Alpha evades by going in Sphia. If you think about it, Alpha is very close in existence to me. But I can't guess their true colors. Speaking of what I know, it's all the evil they did running around in my body. Alpha killed Enomoto, plunged themselves in the bathtub, drank up the DMT and AMAO inhibitor, and made a mess of the living area. Everything was done after Kokoro had left my body and before I'd returned to my body. The Alpha personality wedged itself between Kokoro and me as the root of every calamity and the true criminal. Incidentally, I wonder why they did those things. What's their motive? Scheming to injure my body, merely butchering Enomoto's corpse? What are the reasons? The fourth mystery, Alpha. Strangely enough, I don't feel any anger towards this unknown entity. Rather, I feel fascinated by their mystique. The scheming to injure my body, but does Alpha really have some sort of goal? About merely butchering Enomoto's corpse too, was the person conscious of what they were doing? Whimsical and chaotic, the results of an innocent child at play. Began to realize Alpha's identity, if only vaguely. At any rate, with this, I can say I proved Kokoro's mind innocence, right? Let's be relieved at that one. Yet in the corner of my heart, a fragment of discomfort still clung. A feeling I couldn't identify, but it made me feel sick. I can't stop feeling uneasy about Alpha in the third area. Can't afford to lose sleep over it. I have another important errand to run. That is rescuing the refugees at the shelter cabin. Present time, 4:09 a.m. Space-time transfer is approaching moment by moment. Changed the mood, I brewed another cup of coffee and gulped it down. I left the cup on the console. A map was next to it. The same map of Japan I saw when I came to the room the first time. Thinking it might come in use later, I thrust it in my pocket. This is new. The monitors lined up against the wall were reflecting the current situation in every room. Nothing was wrong with the other 3 inmates. After quickly checking on them, I left the dim room. So, I get the impression that we're probably an hour to an hour and a half away from finishing this entirely, at the very least. Like, at the most, I should say. So, I'm going to go ahead and continue. We'll take a break at the top of the hour, and we'll continue until I'm done. Unless I'm totally wrong and there's several more hours. Kind of doubt that, but there could be. So, folks who have played the game, let me know if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, don't worry and don't say anything. Next transfer was at 4:48 a.m. I still had over 30 minutes left, but I couldn't afford to relax. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I snapped to action, turning my room at once. I took my coat from the closet and quickly left. Alpha's route! Shit! The sky was still dark. The clear midwinter sky had a countless number of stars scattered across it. The moon was hanging low in the last phase in the south-southeast direction. It was missing more of its light now, drawing a mere semicircle as if torn in two. A half moon, the one that was there, yet the one that isn't. Doesn't say not saying anything equals saying something. You are communicating something without saying anything. There is a distinction there, yes. Might as well just said nobody respond. It's true. It's true. I probably should have. Pushed towards the darkness, relying only on the light of the moon and the stars. Oh, this is all the same. I did word that poorly, though. You're right. I'll work on that in the future. Oh, that's right. Muttering, I suddenly stopped. There was nothing tougher than waiting around doing nothing. That's why I took out the map from the basement. I spread it out in the sand and looked. Now where's the third area? So I had to investigate that while I waited. The reasoning was so simple, even I found it humorous. The space-time swap was only happening at 2 points. A 3-point space transfer. I knew where 2 of the whereabouts were. Here. And here. Above was Aosaga Island, below was Mount Akakura. Mount Akakura's name had been properly marked on the map. Now then, where was the remaining point? I figured that the 3 points were arranged in an equilibrium position. I'm sorry, what? Equilibrium position, there you are. In fact, the position of the Earth's surface is such that each of them, when coupled, 2 known transfer points, forms a figure known as all distances between the vertices in equilibrium seem to be 6. As for where the positions lie exactly, is as follows. First, the segment surface between the different point, Aosaga Island, point Mount Akakura, R. Next, draw 2 circles at a radius R, centered on point Aosaga Island, Mount Akakura, respectively. Let's designate the intersection points of these circles as P1 and P2. Draw a line passing through P1 and P2. Also draw another line passing through point Aosaga Island, point Mount Akakura. Lines here should be understood as the meaning of lying on top of a curved surface, and thus forming 2 more circles around the Earth when fully drawn. With this, you now have 2 small circles and 2 big ones. Now there should be a total of 8 points of intersection between all circles, as 2 of them are point there and there, which leaves us with 6 points. If any of these 6 represents the actual 3 area, that would mean that there are 3 transfer points are located in equilibrium positions. Aosaga Island and Mount Akakura. I drew a line to connect the 2 points with a fingertip. My finger stopped around the middle of the line. It was a place called Myogi Village in the district of Huiwa, Hokkaido. There was a pickaxe-like mark across it just around the middle. It was right under the mark. A Darubi mine. A ruby. At that moment, something jumped up inside my head. The sound of waves vanished. Time had stopped. I forgot to breathe. Streaks of light ran across the sky in groups. A crack ran through the frozen atmosphere. For the moment, the surrounding scenery shattered, and fragments of the moon became comets and rained down from the earth. It was the third area really. If the third area really was Harubi Mine, if it really was, then Alpha was. Alpha's true identity was. That's impossible. My fingers wouldn't stop trembling. A fear of unknown nature began to rise up inside me. Feeling like I'd been touched by something evil, I panicked and folded up the map. Tried to find a way to deny the thoughts I just had. However, the more I struggled to, the deeper I became fixed on it. the third area really was Hutarubi, then all my doubts until now had crumbled and melt away. Or there was a solution that I could never pursue. You've got to be kidding. I waved my head furiously to dispel the dark thought. But of course, nothing happened when I did. I'd realized the true identity of Alpha. The fact that it would never disappear. A gust of wind blew past me. The map gripped in my right hand began to sway. Before the wind finished blowing, Sophia's figure suddenly disappeared, and as though changing places with it, a brown plain without much snow appeared. Without a thunderous roar and without a brilliant flash of light, happened silently, without a sound, like turning a single page in a book. Even though such a mysterious spectacle had occurred before my eyes, I was struck in a trance-like state. I stood dumbfounded without understanding what had happened. Only time steadily continued. Sound of the waves gradually returned to my ears. I glanced up at the night sky, at the eternal light cast by the countless stars and the waning moon. Nothing had changed. The world continued as usual around me. However, when I lowered my eyes, a strange scene was waiting for me. The brown earth was spread out as if drawn in a big circle. It wasn't an illusion. Oh, that's all skippable. Right now, the inside of my head was being misled by the shadow of Alpha, but now wasn't the time to be tricked by things like that. At any rate, I had to think about the shelter cabin. Kokoro, Yomogi, Lin, and Uni. It would be fine if I only concentrated on those 4 people. So this guy likes the idea about as much as we do. I've got 0 problems with the murder baby hypothesis. I like murder baby hypothesis right now. It's fucked up. My awkward steps gradually began to adjust their pace. Didn't seem too happy with the thought either. I don't like it, but I think it's interesting. My awkward steps gradually began to adjust their pace. Eventually, they turned into quick walking and then to a trot, and finally into a sprint that cut through the darkness. Current time, 5:02 a.m. I stepped into the circle. The zone was a barren wasteland of brown rock. Even though I say wasteland, the ground felt damp. Stopped running, touched the surface. Okay, this is all skippable. The brown-green door. I knelt down beside it and began to think. Now then, should I open the door? No! Whenever you have the option to involve murder babies, you do it. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd add murder babies. I mean, I'm trying to think right now why they would allow such an obvious fucked up variable in whatever they're doing. It would have to be on purpose because they have to know, right? Present time, 5:17 a.m. No! We will not be opening that door, thank you. I didn't open it. I had a bad feeling. Ambivalence. Obviously the building isn't the shelter cabin. This isn't the shelter cabin area. But if that was the case, then where am I? The third area. My consciousness, which had always stayed behind on Sega Island, had transferred from my body to Alpha's body, then to Kokoro's body, back to my body again, repeating over and over again like that. In other words, the sequential order of the 3 areas being teleported to Sega Island is Sophia area, third area, shelter cabin, Sophia, third, shelter. Isn't that much of a variable? You've got a man lurking under your facility just in case. Yeah, actually, it kind of is. Especially since they murder him. Murder baby kind of killed him, so yeah, it's kind of a big variable. Basically, after Sophia, it's the third area's turn. After the third area, the shelter cabin comes next, and so on. I mean, murder. I mean, you know what I mean. And until just a little while ago, the Sophia area was on Aosage Island. Due to the space-time transfer at 4:48, the place transferred there is the third area. Quite a simple deduction. Anyway, how long does the third area remain here? 33 minutes. Which means the next transfer is going to occur 33 minutes after 4:48 at 5:21. And then Mount Kakura, 1 year ago, will arrive. But we saw them come in, so either we were in there long enough for it to transfer back and we just didn't realize it, which I think is what happened, or they're sitting around here, which they're not. They're in the past. Okay, anyway. It's time for our last break of the day as we go a little bit extra long. And, you know, take a quick break to get up stretched and whatever you need to do to be able to keep watching comfortably, because I will be right back.